Now, whenever DJI launches a new pocket camera, I get excited. Not because it's the most powerful camera they make, but because it's usually the camera I end up using the most. Right now, I am at Secrets Divine in Cancun. And for the next few days, this little camera is going with me everywhere. And honestly, I think this might be the perfect place to find out what the new Pocket 4P is really capable of. DJI packed a lot into this thing. A new 1-inch sensor, a second telephoto camera, active track upgrades, 4K slow-mo up to 240 frames per second, and a bunch of features that sounds impressive. But the real question is simple. Can this replace the bigger camera setup I normally travel with? Let's find out. Now, the next morning, my alarm went off way earlier than I wanted to. But if you've ever stayed somewhere with an ocean view, you know exactly why. You don't come all the way to Cancun to sleep through sunrise, if you know what I mean. So before breakfast, I grabbed the Pocket 4P and stepped out into the balcony. The resort was quiet, super nice. The ocean was calm, and it felt like the perfect way to start testing this camera. Now, one of the first things I wanted to capture was a sunrise time-lapse. There's something about watching a place slowly wake up that makes travel videos feel more immersive. So I mounted the Pocket 4P on a tripod, pointed it towards the horizon, and let it run. Now, the color slowly starts changing, the ocean became brighter, and the resort began coming to life. And right away, I could tell that this was going to be one of my favorite clips from the trip. Now, after that, I switched over to the hyperlapse mode. Instead of watching time pass, I wanted to capture movements through the resort. And this is where the camera like the Pocket 4P makes so much sense. Now, I just love how I don't need a separate gimbal. I don't need to have a huge setup as well. I simply start moving and let the camera do the work. Now, the result feels like you're actually experiencing the resort instead of just looking at it. Now, as beautiful as Cancun is, it also creates one of the hardest situations for any camera: bright sunlight outside. So I wanted to put the Pocket 4P through the real-world test. Now, I'm standing inside my room right now. The balcony doors are wide open behind me. The ocean outside is incredibly bright, while the room itself is much darker. Right now, I'm just walking back right to the balcony here, as you could see, and then let's go back inside. The best thing about this is it tracks my face as well, and no special setup needed. Just a shot you'd naturally take while traveling. Now, the transition looks smooth, and there's still detail in both the shadows and highlights. That's exactly what you want from a travel camera. We're also shooting this in D-Log2, which gives us up to 17 stops of dynamic range. That means even with the sun setting behind me, the camera is still able to preserve detail in the bright sky, while keeping detail on my face, giving us much more flexibility when we color grade later on. Now, one thing I always look at when testing a camera is how it handles color. And Cancun might be the perfect place to test that. Now, it's the kind of scene that immediately tells you whether a camera can reproduce colors naturally. The color coming out of the camera looks fantastic. They're vibrant without looking fake. And of course, let's not forget the slow-moving cinematic shots. The Pocket 4P is able to do the 4K 240 frames per second. This is where the high frame rate footage becomes addictive. Simple movements suddenly look cinematic. Everything feels bigger and more dramatic. Let's talk about one of the most important features for solo creators, active track. Because most of us don't have somebody standing behind the camera. As right now, while I'm shooting this, I'm just by myself. It is locked into my face, and as I walk, the camera follows me. So I wanted to push that active track as well through every focal length available. Let's go ahead and zoom in. There we go, 3 times. Still recording me, I guess. Really cool. So, still tracking me. Really nice. It's pretty cool. I don't know about the audio, how far of a distance that is, but it's just nice that we get to use this little guy right here. I like this frame tab because I get to see the composition very easily. See myself still tracking really well. Very nice. Just walking back now. Let's see. We can go this way, change it up. Now this is the difference because with the Pocket 4, you can only track on 1 time zoom. This one, even with the 12 times zoom, I'm able to track myself, which is amazing. It's pretty wild actually. Zoom out now. Go back 6 times here. Really good. Now, one of the biggest upgrades on the 4P is this second camera. And honestly, I think it's my favorite feature as well. Standing on the balcony, I kept switching back and forth between the wide camera and the telephoto camera. The wide camera shows the location, while the telephoto shows the emotion. I think with different focal lengths, you'll be able to get different styles of shoots, even with just a pocketable camera. Now with the telephoto lens, it's able to do that bokeh shot, which might be my favorite footage from the entire trip. Now this kind of shots is what you would get if you have a mirrorless camera. And for the first time, some of the footage doesn't even feel like it came from a pocket camera. It feels much more like something from a larger camera system. Now Cancun looks great in the morning, but during golden hour is where everything changes. Now for sunset, I mounted the Pocket 4P on the balcony. This time, I wanted to capture the entire transition. Watching the resort transform over time created one of the most beautiful sequences from the trip. And it became one of my favorite clips from the entire review. Now of course, the day doesn't end when the sun goes down. So after dinner, I grabbed the Pocket 4P and headed back out. These are the moments where cameras usually starts falling apart, but the Pocket 4P managed to preserve atmosphere surprisingly well. Instead of making everything look artificially bright, it still felt like Cancun at night, and that's exactly what I wanted.
Now there's also a fill light that you can attach to the Pocket 4P so that you'll be able to use that to fill in lights on your face, for example, if you're shooting your face, or the subject that you're trying to shoot.
After spending several days with the DJI Osmo Pocket 4P, I think DJI has done something special here. Not because of one feature, not because of the telephoto lens, not because of the active track, not because of the new sensor as well, but because all of those features work together. The camera gets out of the way and lets you focus on the experience. And throughout this trip, I found myself reaching for it constantly. And to me, that's the biggest compliment I can give any travel camera. I stopped thinking about testing it and started thinking about creating with them. And that's exactly what a great travel camera should do. Okay, thanks for watching everyone. If you have any questions at all, I'll see you in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button for more reviews about the Pocket 4P and the future DJI products. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!